one is the volume itself is very small. The farm sizes, the field sizes are small. The farmers are small. Even if you go and put in a collection center where we collect from various farmers and try doing that, the volume as compared to the comparable countries is very less. And when you have a lesser throughput from a investment done, then your cost of processing is very high.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been the limitation that the industry has been facing. That is the first one. And second is the seasonality, dependence on the natural support for agriculture, which means only during season in a year you produce that particular produce. So 3 to 4 months in a year you would be using your capacity that you have built, and rest of the year it is idle. People tried doing through cold chain distribution network, they could not get that appreciation in the market. So there has been experiments. Large companies like Bharti Group had put in a lot of money through Field Fresh Foods. They are still doing few things, but for last 10-15 years now, they still could not crack it completely. So they are still doing very small volume. While when the project started, they talked about big numbers. I was part of that project, but it is not successful. Mahindra and Mahindra tried something. So now what is happening is limited to some retail chains like Reliance Fresh is doing few things for their own purpose. But is it in a big way like China does, or like some of the developed countries does? No. Cold chain distribution network, and there is an appreciation in the market. So you would expect a curd, or you would expect an ice cream, or you would expect a French fries coming in temperature controlled distribution network to you, but you may not expect the same thing with tomato. So that differentiation is created when you process the agri produce and then convert it in. There is a value created, which the value which is recognized by the consumer, and it can sustain the distribution cost of cold chain. So we thought we should move to a processed industry. Not only that, we also have seen that the country is moving towards processed food. Because of the convenience that is required, a lot of restaurant chains are coming up. They want the food which is processed and quickly, they can cook and serve. So the quick service restaurants have come up with various products. So we thought, that is the direction to go with, because when it comes to fresh, a lot of people have invested money. A lot of people have experimented, but it is still not very successful model. It is not that we are not doing it today. Almost 10% of our capacity today also is used for perishables. A lot of foods are distributed through our cold storage and transportation system. So we still do that, but if we only focus on that, then it becomes an unviable business proposition. If you ask me about the impact, there has been a major impact to our customers. Particularly, the ice cream industry is affected very badly, because this is the peak time for them. From March to June, July, summertime, they make almost 70% of their annual revenue from these 3-4 months, and which they have completely lost. So they are impacted very badly. QSR, the restaurant chains, are impacted very badly because their stores are all closed. Malls are closed, where they have almost 50% of their stores are in malls.
Absolutely.
So malls are closed. So they are affected very badly. Not just that they lost their revenue and all, even they had lost a lot of their products which were expiring. So they had to destroy a lot of food products and suffer a lot of losses. Now we see a slight improvement, but I think it is still not very encouraging because they have already sustained a big amount of loss. While our service offering is typically right from the port if you are an importer, or right from your factory if you are a manufacturer in the country, we bring it to the main warehouse which is close to that pickup center. We take it to the state or city warehouses. From there, we deliver it to the retail store, distributor, or restaurants. So complete end-to-end, other than manufacturing and retailing and home delivery, everything else in between is done by us.
Okay.
Typically a B2B model.
Mm-hmm.
In this, we serve all industries which needs cold chain, right? Starting from pharma. We serve pharma, we serve quick service restaurants, we serve meat, seafood, fruits and vegetables, dairy, we serve ready to cook and ready to eat products, and seafood. So all FMCG. So all the product categories are served, and typically the major, also we support export gateway. Like
Okay.
our facility in Visakhapatnam is typically for export gateway for seafood. Our facility in Bhubaneswar is an export gateway for seafood. We have 33 units, 33 cold storages, totaling to 107,000 pallet positions, or you
Mm.
can say 107,000 tons of storage capacity.
Okay.
And we have 300 owned, all these facilities are owned. We have 300 refrigerated trucks owned by us. We are 2,000 people company, and these 33 facilities are in 15 strategic cities, which serves the pan-India distribution. We have already invested close to 600 crores so far in the business,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, which includes all these cold storages and the refrigerated trucks. And we plan to invest another 65 to 70 crores this year in expanding to three more cities, and some of the existing capacities also we are expanding.
Okay.
So this is the investment so far. So our plan is to continue to grow. Every year we would like to expand our capacity by around 15%. So we are expanding in Krishnapatnam, where we already have a facility, but we are trying to increase that capacity now because that's 100% utilized.
Mm-hmm.
New city we are coming up, which is Siliguri and Coimbatore. These two are new cities for us.
Mm-hmm.
This is typically the requirement from our customers, because we always tell them that we have strategic partners to you, and we will ensure your reach to each and every corner of this country.
Mm-hmm.
So basis our study with them, we decide which location. So these two locations have come up as the most potential ones. So for Amazon, what we do is we do an end-to-end distribution for them of perishables. So we have a facility in Navi Mumbai, and we have a collection center in Manchar, which is near Pune.
Mm-hmm.
In collection center, we collect vegetables from the farmers directly. We send that to Navi Mumbai. We also purchase some vegetables from the APMC market. We bring a lot of FMCG products and also some of the frozen products like McCain and those kinds of temperature control products. Everything is brought into Navi Mumbai center, where we do a sorting grading activity also, and a packing activity, which is typically for home delivery purpose. And then these products are delivered to 6 different hubs in Mumbai. From those hubs, Amazon have a system to deliver it at home basis their order system. We are not involved in home delivery. We are supposed to play the role from farmer to their hubs in Mumbai, the 6 hubs in Mumbai. So that responsibility we take care of. And we are now planning to expand that support in other cities for them. We are creating a model, B2B model, backend model for QSR, for the e-com companies. So once we are ready with the model, then maybe we will try to explore more options. Government should focus more on utilization of those infrastructure which is created, or provide incentive for utilization of the facility rather than creating of the capacity. Mm-hmm. So what is happening is companies like us are not able to take benefit of those things, because there are riders attached to it, and it says you have to have a farm, you have to have a pack house and everything. But without that you cannot claim those capacities. I personally believe that government should come up with a scheme wherein they say you build a cold storage, whether it is for processed or non-processed, see that some portion of that is used for agri-produce, which like we are doing anyways, 10%, of our capacity, which is close to 10-12,000 of pallet positions dedicated to agri-business. Mm-hmm. I think we will be largest if we take only agri-produce handlers. Will be largest in terms of temperature control with 10-12,000 pallet positions. So government should come up with a scheme where you build cold storage and you operate, and depending on the volume that you throughput from your facility, you get some incentive rather than for building the infrastructure. So a lot of people have built the infrastructure, and then because they got a good subsidy from the government, but they were not from the business. So they realized that later, operations is more important than building the infrastructure, and they gave up.